Hello children. Today I'm going to explain to y'all the poem After the Storm. It's a very easy poem. Well, it's an extract which is taken from the poem Resolution and Independence written by William Wordsworth. Now, when I talk of William Wordsworth, you all know that he was regarded as the greatest English nature poet. That means he wrote poems to describe the beauteous forms of nature. Well, we also say that Wordsworth, he was a romantic poet. Now, romantic poet means he belonged to the romantic age in English literature, when poets and writers gave much stress on imagination and fancy, and in fact they drifted away from reality, right? That is the early part of the 19th century. uh, then coming to the poem, that is this poem Resolution and Independence, it reveals about a traveler who goes on walking through the countryside after a night of rain. The day is bright and the creatures around him are lively and refreshed. So he shares his joy with everyone. Okay, so this is the background of the poem. Now, Wordsworth, he had written beautiful poems which are in fact very good for recitation, like The Daffodils, The Solitary Reaper. Yes, and also mention may be made of his poems like lyrical ballads, The Prelude. Okay, now coming to the poem After the Storm. I'll recite the poem. There was a roaring in the wind all night. The rain came heavily and fell in floods. But now the sun is rising calm and bright. The birds are singing in the distant woods. Over his own sweet voice the stork dove broods. The jay makes answer as the magpie chatters. And all the air is filled with pleasant noise of waters. All things that love the sun are out of doors. The sky rejoices in the morning's birth. The grass is bright with raindrops. On the moor, the hare is running races in her mirth. And with her feet, she from the plushy earth raises a mist that, glittering in the sun, runs with her all the way, wherever she doth run. So, this is a recitation of the poem. Now we come to the line by line explanation. There was a roaring in the wind all night. The rain came heavily and fell in floods. That means what? It was a stormy night with thunder and heavy rain causing floods. But now the sun is rising calm and bright. But the morning saw a change. Okay, there was calmness. The day was quite bright with a refreshing look everywhere. The birds are singing in the distant woods. From the faraway forest, the twittering of the birds could be heard. Over his own sweet voice, the stork dove broods. The stork dove, with a sweet voice, goes on chattering as it sits on the eggs to hatch. So, these are the birds which go on twittering, that is the stork dove, and in the next line the jay and the magpie are also referred to. The jay makes answer as the magpie chatters. As the magpie goes on chattering, so the jay responds to the call of the magpie. Okay, here we see that the jay, the magpie, they are personified. And earlier I had told you all about personification, that when human qualities are given to things, animals, or any inanimate objects, that is known as personification, right? And all the air is filled with pleasant noise of waters, and there is the sound of waters from different water bodies, be it waterfalls, be it lakes, be it rivers. Okay, so noise is generally referred to something that is unpleasant to the ears, but over here we see that the poet refers the noise of the water as something to be very pleasant, right? Then coming to the next stanza. All things that love the sun are out of doors. That means all the creatures and the things which love nature, they are outside to enjoy the warmth of the day. The sky rejoices in the morning's birth. This is another example of personification. The sky is rejoicing just like a human being. We human being, we feel excited. Rejoice means what? Excitement, happiness. So here the sky is rejoicing. The sky is excited with a new birth, with a new dawn. Okay, as if it has taken a rebirth. The grass is bright with raindrops. So we see that the wet grass with raindrops is glittering in the sunshine. Okay, still from the last night's rain. The raindrops are still lingering in the grass. On the moors, the hare is running races in her mart. On the moors means on the grasslands. The hare is running races with excitement, running here and there. And with her feet, she from the plashy earth raises a mist. Plashy means what? Puddles of water created due to the last night's rain. And the hare, in its excitement, it goes on stepping on the puddles of water and thereby splashing the water here and there. And these puddles of water are reflected in the sunshine. Okay, and when the hare steps on this cloud of water drops, it shines in the sun and seems to follow the hare wherever it runs. Right, it runs with her all the way wherever she doth run. Doth is also an archaic word. Archaic means it's an old English word which refers to does. Okay, poets, they earlier used this word doth. Yes, it means does. So this puddles of water, it seems it to follow the hare wherever it went on running. Right? So this is the beautiful sights and sounds created by the poet in these two stanzas. Okay, a joyful scene which is remarkably created with this animated landscape. Okay, sounds referring to the different sounds of the birds, the waters. Yes, and it also tells us about the beautiful sights like the hare running here and there, the beauty of the morning. Okay, so similar instances we have also experienced after a night of storm, when in the next morning we awake and we see a fresh dawn in front of us. We really feel very rejuvenated, isn't it? So the pristine look in nature, it creates an aura of excitement in us, isn't it? So that was an explanation of the poem. Hope children, you all have understood. Thank you.